Hi, this is Elliott, speaking to you from Antrim, but previously working in Spain in the city of Algeciras. One of my fond memories of our time in Algeciras was walking along a beach nearby a house, and if it was early morning, sometimes you'd see the sunrise coming up over Gibraltar to the east. And at that time of day, with the shadows and so on, we could even get a view of the Rifi Mountains in Morocco. And the thing that always struck me about that time of the morning was how, with the shadows and so on, sometimes you would see things and see mountains that were actually not visible in the glare of the sun. It's an interesting time of the day, almost unique, I would say, where we both see and understand the reality of darkness, but also a sense of the possibility of light. As we continue our meditations from the book of Isaiah, we come to Isaiah chapter 60. And verse 1 says this: "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and thick darkness the peoples. But the Lord will arise upon you, and his glory will be seen upon you. And nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising." Again, we see here, arise, shine, and it sort of implies the dawn, something new is happening. And yet again, we're presented with this reality of darkness. We're told that the peoples are in darkness, thick darkness. And yet there's great possibility and promise with the coming of light. And we're told that in verse 3, the nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. As we go through this series, we're looking at meditating on Christmas through the prism or through the eyes of Isaiah. I wonder what you think as we approach Christmas this year. Could we have that same sense of, yes, there's darkness. We know that in our world. And yet Christmas also speaks to us this great possibility of light that has come into the world. John tells us that as well. I wonder what you look for this Christmas. See, in verse 4 of this same chapter, Isaiah then says, "Lift up your eyes all around and see. They all gather together, they come to you. Your sons shall come from afar, and your daughters shall be carried on the hip." And then it goes on to talk about the blessing that will come to and through the people of God. But I just want to think about that verse, or those words, lift up your eyes all around. The prophet isn't asking the people, what do you see? He's saying to them, what are you looking for? And I just want to encourage you as we come up to Christmas. We think about the world around us, we think about the darkness, but we also celebrate the coming light. And in that in-between, we see great possibilities. I want to ask you afresh as we even think into a new year, what are you looking for? Could Christmas be a time when we actually renew our vision for the peoples who are under darkness at the minute, but have the possibility of seeing the light? And could it be a time when we actually renew our own commitment to be bearers of light, to be reflectors of light as the people here were called to be? It wasn't their light. The light comes from the Lord, but they were to reflect so that the kings and the nations and the peoples could come into the light. Verse 5 to 7 of this passage goes on. There's a few details there which are maybe a little bit kind of cryptic or certainly not related to our daily scenario, camels and so on. But yet, maybe there's a sense just that this is now the fulfillment of Genesis 12, 1 to 3, when God called Abraham and he says, "You will be blessed, and through you all peoples will be blessed." As we celebrate the blessing of Christmas, the coming of light, may we recommit ourselves to be a blessing so that others will see that light. God bless you.